deep in that first quarter, very much what they did against Utah. They ended up losing game one. I think they need to stay aggressive, Mark Jones. They were decimating the Utah Jazz off the dribble drive, getting to their drive and kick. They're one of the most dangerous shooting teams in the league. Get to the corner threes, get to the hash line threes, and get to the dribble drive game, because they are absolutely majestic when they start beating you off the bounce.
And they had a bunch of games this postseason already where they have shot and made over 23s in a game. The starting lineups, folks, brought to you by Credit Karma. Visit creditkarma.com/winmoney to open your free account and start winning instant karma. Credit Karma Money. Progress starts right here. The starting lineups. Let's start with the Phoenix Suns. Bridges, Crowder on the front line along with DeAndre Ayton, a very prolific third-year player that was pivotal in that previous series against Jokic. Devin Booker and Cameron Payne getting the start in the backcourt for Phoenix. Meanwhile, for the Los Angeles Clippers, it'll be Marcus Morris Sr. up front with Nicholas Batum, Reggie Jackson, Paul George, who averaged 29 points a game in that series against the Utah Jazz, shot 42% from downtown, and Terrence Mann, a guy that was just out there careering a couple of nights ago in that big win, Game 6 against Utah. We are ready to go underway as they tip it off, and Cameron Payne brings it across the midcourt line for the Phoenix Suns into the front court. The Suns going left to right on your radio dial. On the right wing, it's Booker driving baseline. Around Ban kicks it back out. Now it's Payne above the circle, kicks it out to Booker. Right wing three, no good. No, rebounded underneath by Booker, and the stick back over Morris. And the Suns lead it 2-0.
Well, that's what you hope DeAndre Ayton can give you, his ability to get to the offensive glass, Mark.
George on the left wing above the three-point line. Out top to Reggie Jackson out top. In three-point territory, man comes to screen for him. The Suns switch it. They kick it around left side now. Paul George with 4 on the shot clock. George drives into the paint and finishes.
That's exactly what I just touched on. The dribble drive ability, the ability of multiple guys to get 2 feet in the paint. Paul George just so good.
Ayton out front working against Marcus Morris. Over the left wing, it's Booker. Morris switches on to Booker. Shot clock down to 9 already. Crowder takes a dribble, goes cross-court, weak side. Payne with the floater in the paint. No good, left it short. Back out to Bridges for 3. His shot goes halfway down and out, and quickly outletted to Paul George on the right wing. Brings it into the front court. Working against Crowder, stares him down. Booker switches onto him. George with a crossover, mid-range pull-up. And he knocks down another silky smooth jumper.
Well, very much like he did in Game 6. Aggressive offensively, making shots. That should settle the entire Clipper roster down.
George with quick 2 field goals. Payne with a nice ball fake for 3 from deep. That one halfway down and out again. Batum with the rebound. And Paul George will bring it across the midcourt line. George being guarded by Bridges now. Booker switches onto him. George on the bounce again. Picked it up, kicks it out. Batum swings around to Jackson. He lets the 3 fly and hits nothing but net.
41.1% in the regular season was the Los Angeles Clippers. In this era of three-point revolution, your ability to make those critical.
7-0 run for the Clippers. They lead it 7-2. 9:50 to go here in the first quarter. Just underway. Ayton underside over Morris, and you see a little bit of that size advantage.
Unlike Rudy Gobert, they will enter the ball into the post and let Mr. Ayton go to work. Nice job there.
Jackson off the Batum screen. Swings it weak side to George on the right side. George working against Crowder. 10 on the shot clock. George probes now. Booker switches on to him. Drives with the left hand into the paint. His floater goes up and comes out. Rebounded to Payne now, bringing it across the midcourt line. Payne on the drive with the offhand layup. Cameron Payne with a slick move. And he gets his first field goal in 3 attempts. A quick 3 at the other end by Terrence Mann on the right side is no good. And back comes Booker. Devin Booker trying to dispel some of the notion he's not a winning player and doing it well here in the postseason. That jump shot from 5 feet bounced off the rim a couple of times and falls.
Well, Devin Booker, like his counterpart Chris Paul, who's out today, they specialize in the mid-range. This team will flex their muscles, both very efficient in that area.
Jackson out top, guarded by Booker. Goes between his legs a couple of times. Now Crowder switches on to him. George goes inside on the left block to Booker, trying to back him down. Little bully ball for Morris Sr., and he got the roll, and he's on the board.
He's critical because Morris is versatile enough to post you up if you downsize your defender, as you did with Devin Booker. Look for them to hunt that matchup if it's consistent.
Payne in the front court for Phoenix, guarded by Batum. Over to Booker on the right side. They clear it out for him. He drives quickly around Morris Sr. Off glass, no good. A little bit strong. Loose ball. Kicks out to Bridges, out top to Payne. Thought about the three. Crowder fires. No good. And rebounded by the Clippers. All white jerseys as Jackson brings it up court. Here's Morris Sr. Guarded by Crowder on the three-point arc. Gonna try and walk him down a little bit. Faces up for a long two. Tried to go glass. No good. And Payne coming back the other way for the Suns. It's 9-8 for the Clippers with 7:45 to go. Crowder with the reverse layup on the baseline.
Smart decision. Marcus Morris standing up. He goes right by.
Jackson gets into the paint, kicks it out to Mann. Mann's only taking one shot, gives it back to Jackson. Staring down Ayton, a mismatch on the edge. He fires away and misses from deep. Rebounded by Crowder over to Payne. And Payne brings it up. Payne quickly inside to Ayton, a short turnaround jumper, no good. Rebounded by the Clippers, and Paul George brings it up for them. George against Crowder, a quick transition three. Butter! Paul George off to a great start with 7 points with 7 minutes to go.
He's already flashed multiple aspects of his game. He went to the cup on the dribble drive, that time giving you the range.
Out to Ayton, guarded by Batum. Ayton dribble handoff to Booker. Devin Booker double teamed, hits Bridges on a nice cut, changed his mind on the shot in midair and missed it. And Morris Sr. brings it back for the Clippers. Picked up by Bridges in transition. Back out top to Reggie Jackson, calls out the half-court set. They ISO Morris Sr. Might have gotten away with a push-off, got the layup underneath. And a timeout called by Monty Williams as he looks at the officials, David Guthrie, Tony Brothers, and Ben Taylor searching for a call. With 6:35 left in the first quarter, the Clippers lead it 14-10. You're listening to the Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed. sample of both these teams so far in the rest versus rust. What do you see so far? What are your observations?
Well, I think you made the exact appropriate point. Paul George has not lost his rhythm. He's got 7 points on 3 for 4 shooting. He's been in the paint, and he's made a 3. So exactly what you would hope. I think the fatigue is showing on the defensive side of the floor if you're the Clippers. Like the blow-by Jay Crowder on the baseline that ended up with a drive, and then the change of pace and transition where Cameron Payne just blew by the entire team. So let's watch fatigue as this game continues to unfold for the Clippers.
Phoenix basketball out of the timeout. Cameron Payne bings it into the front court. On the left side, above the three-point line, now drives it into the middle over to Crowder. Paul George guarding Bridges in the corner. Bridges picks it up after a dribble out to Payne. Shot clock down to 7. Cross-court baseline 3. Good by Crowder.
Clippers went to a zone, I think, trying to mix it up and also give their legs a rest, and right away they burn them with a 3. Nice job by Crowder.
14-13, 6:05 to go in the first quarter. Jackson out top. Good tonight defense. Over to George now on the left side of the court. Trying to back down Cameron Payne. George with the ball, 5 on the shot clock. Contested tough mid-range jumper, and he draws the foul from about 18 feet away, and Paul George is going to go to the free throw line for a pair. You hear a smattering of boos out there on that call, as you would expect.
That hurts, though. If you're Cameron Payne, you had done your job initially. You had closed the space. I don't know why you let your body lean into Paul George. You had your left forearm on his midsection. That would have been okay. It was when he leaned forward with his body that Paul George ends up at the stripe.
Paul George, an 87% free throw shooter during the regular season, knocks down the first shot. Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio, brought to you by Capital One Auto Navigator. Meet the tool that makes car shopping and financing easier. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Well, speaking of wallets, George has been money after hearing all the noise, all the chirping from opponents during the course of the regular season. He has certainly silenced a lot of his critics. Takes 3 dribbles, knocks down the second free throw. 5:53 to go in the first quarter. Clippers lead it by 3, 16-13. Moore is checked into the ball game for the Phoenix Suns. Booker out top working against Patrick Beverly, who's come in. Crowder goes cross-court. Bridges one more over to the baseline. Moore on the drive. Lost the handle. It goes right to Paul George. They got a 3-on-2, but now the Suns back in transition. Beverly thought about the 3 in the corner. Now is going to dribble it out. Back out to Paul George, working just around the elbow area. Cross-court, Reggie Jackson launches the baseline 3 a little bit strong, and Beverly commits the foul coming over the top of Devin Booker. That's going to be his first foul. First team foul on the Clippers as well. Patrick Beverly made some clutch shots in that game against the Utah Jazz in Game 7.
3 for 3 in the fourth quarter, and he just made an exceptional decision. Early in the clock, the ball had not changed sides. He passed on the 3. Yes, you missed it when the ball changed sides. Shot selection so critical this time of year.
Zubac's also in the ball game as Booker turns the corner, gets downhill, kicks it weak side over to Moore. That shot rims out from 3-point territory, and back come the Clippers. It's Paul George on the crossover, splits the double team, gets to the elbow, kicks it weak side baseline. Morris Sr. misses the 3, rebounded by Ayton underneath. And now up to Moore. Moore across the midcourt line on the left side of the floor, comes into the middle. Dribble handoff to Booker. Booker double teamed by Morris Sr. and Paul George. Gets a screen from Ayton, lets the 3 fly and finds it.
Devin Booker is just such a talented offensive player. 3-level scorer, loves the mid-range, but boy, he has worked hard to balance that mid-range with the 3-point shooting.
Tied at 16, 4:20 to go here in the first quarter. Jackson pulls it out on the right side against Crowder. Stares him down, gets into his bag, picks it up. Morris Sr. with a nice flash into the key. Let's go with the jump shot, misses from 15 feet. And back comes Booker across the midcourt line off the outlet. Booker downhill into the paint against Zubac's left hand. A little bit wide. And back comes Paul George the other way. Team getting up and down a little bit. George into the corner. Beverly thought about the 3. Pump fakes it into Zubac's on the low block. Zubac's working on the right block. Picked up his dribble. Back out to Beverly. Now out top to George. George guarded by Crowder on the right side. Steps back behind the 3-point lane. Lets it fly. And it's nothing but cord. Laces the 3. Paul George now with 12 points in the first quarter. Clippers leading by 3.
He's coming off games of 31, 31, 37, and 28. He's still cooking.
Off the curl, Devin Booker pump fakes, picked it up from 15 feet away, kicks it back out to Moore. Shot clock already down to 7. Moore guarded by Jackson. Moore working off the dribble. Kicks it out to Crowder. 18-footer is good.
There's your first rotation difference. E'Twaun Moore, who is a guy who's not played any significant role to this point in the playoffs for Monty. He's been looking for an opportunity. Well, welcome to the game. Good delivery to Jay Crowder.
Thrown into the fire. Reggie Jackson on the right side, on to Paul George, who's carried the Clippers early in the first quarter. Goes between his legs from the elbow, throws up a wild shot. Was looking for the contact, didn't get it. Booker off the rebound. Back in the front court for the Suns. Goes behind his back, kicks it out to Crowder. Crowder's pass, cross court, picked off by Beverly. Coming back the other way at the foul line. Hits the lane and hits the layup.
Just an excellent...
And Beverly almost knocked it and got himself a steal door.
You're right. Just the level of intensity that Patrick Beverly plays, the burst he provided. And how about the Clippers? They were worried about the first 6 minutes. What a start for them, Mark.
They got that good energy going right now. And with 2:37 to go in the first quarter, the Clippers lead it 21-18. This is the Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio.
Series.
Yeah, Kevin, you mentioned the fact that he's been to the conference finals before. Doris, we remember those epic battles when he was a member of the Indiana Pacers against the Miami Heat, where he really grew into being the PG-13 that we know today. And he's carried this team so far in the first quarter with 12 points.
Well, think about it. No Kawhi Leonard. So Paul George understanding my role has got to be, and Ty Lue touched on this before the game, his ability to score in the first quarter would have a monumental impact on the team settling into the game. And just to further Kevin Winter's point, he played 38, 40, 40, and 46 minutes. He is ready to work, Paul George.
Durable. Here's Phoenix with the basketball. Dario Saric has checked in, working against Zubac, and a whistle. We're going to foul against the Clippers. That's going to be their second team foul. Foul is going to go against... Looks like it's going to go against Zubac. It's a Zubac, one of the numerous players that Ty Lue plans on using here early in the game, one-time starter. Inbound by the Suns. Saric on the wing. Picks it up, gives it back to Booker. Double team. Cross court, one more port. Great passing. Cam Johnson with the baseline three. Good. Cam Johnson, who just came in a moment ago, hits his first field goal attempt.
Aggressive switching by the Clippers. Ball had to reverse sides. It finds the deep opposite corner. Easy look at three.
Tied at 21. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Rondo checked into the game for the Clippers. He missed a layup back the other way. Booker got stripped, and now it's a 3-on-3. Beverly pulls the ball out and gives it to Morris Sr. Now Paul George with it. Staring down Devin Booker. Cam Johnson switches onto him at the top of the three-point circle. George goes through his legs into the paint. Tough pass intended for Zubac. They control it, though, out top to Rondo. Back to Morris Sr. Corner three. No good. And rebounded by Booker. And Booker will bring it across the midcourt stripe. Into the front court over to Saric. Fake the pass. Paul George reaches in and steals it away. Here's Rondo. It's a 2-on-2. The Clippers out to Paul George. Morris Sr. fires away. Side pocket three. Short again and rebounded by Saric. Had a couple of great looks at it.
Morris is just 2 for 7, and you're right. That's 2 clean looks from corner threes. The best shot in basketball he can't make either.
Tied at 21. 1 minute to go now in the first quarter. Cam Johnson picked up his dribble inside to Saric. Saric weaving underneath. Back out to Crowder. Baseline jumper is no good. Rebounded by Morris Sr. with 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. Here's Rondo now. Rondo pulls it out. Comes off the Zubac screen. Probing inside. Off glass. No good with the layup. He smoked the layup. He was right there. And back comes Booker. Booker turns on the Jets. Into the paint. Left-hand layup is no good. Good resistance from Zubac. And here comes Paul George. George kicks it out. Now Beverly thought about the three. Good closeout by Saric. Now Paul George with the baseline three-pointer. That one rims out. Rondo saves it with 14 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Tied at 21. They can run it all the way down almost. There's a 2-second difference between the shot and game clock. Paul George with it. 10 feet away. Pulls up on the baseline over Moore. No good. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play as Booker lets a long Hail Mary go that falls harmlessly short. Let's exhale. the lane and hits the layup.
Patrick Beverly the layup, but Phoenix would answer with a three. Hey, the good news is we're tied as you make the turn to the second quarter. Back to you in Phoenix.
Yeah, I feel you, Kevin. 41% for the Phoenix Suns, 36% from the field for the Los Angeles Clippers. Doris, when you look at Phoenix, obviously an added burden without Chris Paul. That falls obviously on Devin Booker. What do you make about his play and how he's being guarded so far?
Well, we anticipated some double teams without Chris Paul on the floor. One less guy you got to guard. They shot the Suns 2 for 6 off the double teams on Devin Booker. Guys around him have got to make shots.
Phoenix trying to inbound, the basketball. And Doris Burke's Instant Analysis brought to you by Credit Karma. Visit creditkarma.com/win money to open your free account and start winning instant karma. Credit Karma Money. Progress starts here. Into the front court on the left side. Rondo with the ball. Goes down low on the left block. Cousins is in the ball game. Gets the back pass in. Catches a body. And one. Saric felt his chest collapse courtesy of Big Bad Boogie. Wow. That's making a statement from a guy that hasn't gotten a lot of run.
He has now, but Lou told us he'd be back in the mix, and the connection with Rondo is real. Remember, these are two guys who played with one another before. Hard drive, pitch back to Boogie, right at the cup. That is hard for Sarge to deal with.
He misses his free throw, got his rebound back, missed the putback, and Campaign comes away with the ball into the front court for Phoenix. Over to Booker on the right wing, guarded by Luke Kennard, who's checked into the ball game. Now they switch and try and double Booker. He breaks the double team. Back out top to Moore, and the jumper is good. Pardon me, that's Torrey Craig with the long jumper. A three.
Another double team of Devin Booker. He does the appropriate thing. He moves the ball. Teammate makes a shot. Got to continue.
Craig on his first touch makes it 24-23 Phoenix. Cousins down low on the left block, working against Sarge. Kicks it out top. Kennard. Straightaway three on the way. Butter. Got it. Luke Kennard finding his stroke here in the playoffs. Booker over to Campaign now. Phoenix with the ball in the front court. Rondo guarding Campaign. Campaign goes to Sarge, guarded by Cousins. Cousins above the three-point line. Lost the handle on the dribble. A little bit ragged looking. Craig on the drive, steps through with the Euro move. Gets a layup to go over Rondo. And it's 26-all with 10:38 to go in the half.
Bonus points from Torrey Craig. His role is more defender, but opportunistic, and two made baskets, excuse me.
Cousins again getting a lot of touches on the left block here against Sarge. Spins against him. Drives, pump fake, gets the layup to go.
So they're playing bully ball. And Sarge has got a very difficult one-on-one challenge with Boogie.
2-point lead for the Clippers with 10:14 to go. Not for long. Cam Johnson with a 20-foot three. And the Clippers trail 29-28. Here's Rondo. Right inside. Good look to Cousins, who got hit hard by Craig while he was going up for the shot. And Cousins will get a couple of free throws. So the Clippers are looking for Boogie Cousins here.
He's played 2 minutes, and he has had multiple touches already. And there is not a good physical matchup on the floor right now for Boogie Cousins. Saric and Craig, neither are, to me, big enough. He's too skilled and too strong.
Great point. Boogie Cousins knocks down the first foul shot. Makes it 29-all with 9:58 to go in the first half. Remember, DeMarcus Cousins was averaging over 25 points and 10 rebounds several years ago with the Pelicans when he tore his Achilles tendon. Then he tears his ACL, missing all that time, but he believes, if you speak with him like we have, that there's still a lot of basketball left in him. His second free throw makes it 30-29 for the Clippers with 9:49 to go. Johnson on the drive, gets the layup to go.
Cameron Johnson is a gifted athlete, a sweet shooter, and he's rounded out his game. That time, okay, you're going to take away my three. I'm putting it on the deck, get right to the left lane line, and score it.
Rondo running the offense over to Jackson on the left side of the floor. They look once again to Cousins, but the pass goes the other way, and it's picked off for Batum. Cam Johnson doing it on offense and defense here with the steal. Johnson on the right side, swings it around now to the top. Now on the left side, it's Torrey Craig. going to work against Reggie Jackson. He finds Saric inside. Saric spins and draws the foul from Cousins. He'll get a couple of free throws. Good ball movement that time by Phoenix.
And Saric, a guy who's got both an perimeter game, Mark, but he can also post up. So, all right, Boogie Cousins, you're going to be physical and post me up. I'm going to use my speed, spin off you. Just a good feel by Saric in the post.
Dario Saric has been a nice five-man, small ball five at times for the Phoenix Suns. Erstwhile of the Philadelphia 76ers knocks down the first free throw. It's 32-30 with 9:10 to go here in the first half of play. The Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker on the bench right now. On the floor, it's Payne, it's Craig, it's Saric, it's Bridges for the Phoenix Suns, and Cam Johnson. Meanwhile, it's Rondo, Cousins, Jackson, Bernard, and Batum for the Clippers. Rondo off the screen. That's an illegal screen set by Boogie Cousins, and his first foul. It'll come back the other way.
So he tried to set a flat screen, which means you go directly up the back of the defender so that he can't see you. But he leaned. If he just stayed still, Boogie, Rondo would have used it appropriately.
Saric with a nice feed inside for Cam Johnson, who cut and got the layup to go. So after making a couple of free throws, Saric with a nice dime drop to Cam Johnson, and it's 35-30 for the Suns. Rondo quickly inside. Cousins missed the easy layup. Back out to Batum. Now to Jackson from downtown. Short, rebounded, all black jerseys around the rim for the rebound, and Payne bringing it up court. Payne off the Saric screen. He flips the screen a couple of times. Steps back for three over Cousins. A little bit strong and rebounded by Jackson. Down the right side of the floor to Rondo. Quickly inside. Good post up by Cousins for the easy left-handed layup.
It's one-on-one in the post. And Dario Saric is 6'10", 225. But he's not nearly wide enough or strong enough. And so at one-on-one, Boogie Cousins is just playing bully basketball.
4 minutes for him. 8 points already for Cousins. Here's Payne on the left side. Swings around to Johnson. Pass picked off. Rondo and Jackson with a 2-on-1. Jackson off the pass from Rondo. And he finishes with the layup. A great fast break in transition. And with 7:45 to go in the first half, it's 35-34 for the Suns. And Payne brings it up for Phoenix. Drives off the screen by Saric. Picks up his dribble, cross court to Bridges, gets it back on the left wing. Saric sets the screen, lets the three fly behind that screen. One and done at that end for the Suns. Quickly by Rondo up to Kennard. Thought about the three. Back to Rondo on the right wing. Straight away three-pointer by Cousins. Splashdown. And a timeout called with 7:15 to go in the first half. Boogie hyped up. Getting manhandled by his own teammates. Chest bumping after that big three. So with 7:15 to go in the first half, the Clippers lead at 37-35. You're listening
coverage of Game 7 between the Sixers and Hawks. Did you know no matter the result, 83, the Hawks' lone title came back in 1958. And did you know the Suns or the Clippers have never won one? In fact, the Clippers have never gotten to that round. We send you back to Game 1 in Phoenix, Western Conference Finals. Clippers and Suns with Doris Burke. Here's Mark Jones.
Been a long time between drinks of water for all those franchises, Kevin Winter, that you just mentioned. Phoenix trying to hold up their end of the bargain. Get back to the finals for the first time since Charles Barkley took them there. And the Clippers have never gone this far in franchise history, over 51 years. Phoenix inbounding the basketball. Boogie Cousins making a big imprint on the game so far, Doris.
He had 12 total points in the entire playoffs until today. He's got 11 already, Mark.
Cam Johnson with a corner three, no good. Rebounded by Cousins. Quickly up to Rondo over the midcourt line. Gives it back to DeMarcus Cousins. Back to Rondo at the top of the circle. Working against Torrey Craig, a little bit taller defender. Rondo getting them organized. Ty Lue calling out the play from the sideline. Rondo thought about the three. Kennard lets the three go. Splashdown. Wow, Luke Kennard with another jumper, his second field goal of the game.
And that is Kennard's role, to come in and take open shots. And Ty Lue will pull him if he hesitates.
Clippers leading 40-35, 6:32 to go. Bridges with a nice cut and a nice feed from Ayton, the big man.
So Ayton comes back on the floor, better matchup for DeMarcus Cousins. They also lift him to the free throw line on the offensive end. Backdoor cut, beautifully executed. Great pass, good cut by McHale.
Clippers leading 40-37. Here's Jackson on the drive around Bridges. Kicks it out to the corner, out to the wing. Batum out top now to Cousins. Little heat check, missed that one. Rebounded by Craig. And Torrey Craig holds up the dribble and hands it off to Cam Payne. With 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Payne around the screen by Ayton. Gets into the paint. Back to Ayton. Little give and go. Sweet two-man basketball.
Well, Cameron Payne has not shot it especially well. He's 1 for 5 and 0 for 3. But that change of pace, and that is his 4th assist. Beautiful execution down the lane, Mark.
People are going to tell you he's not Chris Paul. But you know what? A really good Cam Payne might be enough here tonight. 40-39. The Clippers with the lead. With 5:54 to go in the first half. Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Clippers team. Right now, the Clippers leading 40-39. They've already come back from 0-2 deficits twice in the same postseason. The shooting door is picking up a little bit from three-point territory for them. 6 of 14, and we started to talk about the contribution of Cousins being found money.
Well, I think you can look at what Ty Lue has done. He's got 5 different guys who've all played at least 5 minutes. He's buying critical minutes in the second half for his key guys, in particular Paul George and Reggie Jackson. I cannot say enough. Hopefully we have more of an opportunity to talk about Ty Lue and the job he's done in these playoffs.
1-point Clipper lead, 5:48 to go in the first half. Rondo with the ball, out top to Kennard off the screen. At the top of the three-point circle, hesitated and missed badly on the three, rebounded by Payne. Payne quickly up court to Bridges, gets it back. Now going to walk it out to the top of the three-point circle, guarded by Jackson. Booker from the elbow, hands it off to Payne. Inside 8-man, tic-tac slam.
It's a play they run often. You get Cameron Payne going downhill off a screen from D-Book. He beats the initial defender, the roll by Ayton. Easy money for DeAndre.
Phoenix back up 41-40. Here's Paul George back in the ball game, launching a quick three early in the shot clock. Booker with the rebound, bringing it back up court for the Suns. Booker hesitates, pulls up from 15, knocks it home. Devin Booker with 5 minutes to go in the half gives Phoenix a 43-40 lead.
Mark, he's only taken 6 shots, but he's got 6 boards and 2 assists. Really good job by D-Book picking his spots.
Did a great job of managing the game this year. Paul George gets switched on to Ayton, steps back, a long 2 on the way, put it on the front rim. Cousins kept it alive, tipped it a couple of times, falls to the court. Payne brings it back. It's a 5-on-4, Ayton underneath with a nice rim run, got the layup.
And Mark, you have to wonder, is Phoenix going to just keep pushing the tempo, trying to wear down the Los Angeles Clippers?
10-0 run for the Suns. They lead it by 5, 45-40. You hear the crowd chanting defense. Rondo over to Paul George, and a whistle and a foul going to go against Devin Booker.
Yeah, he was being way too physical, trying to deny the catch by Paul George. Now, Paul was given as good as he gets, but there was just some rub action, and Devin Booker picks him up, just holding and pushing. They're given as good as they get, but the defense is going to get that foul call.
13 foul, Doris, against the Phoenix Suns. Those two had a little bit of history this year when Paul George felt that Booker was doing a little bit of chirping at him. Booker actually called him soft during a regular season game. And in exchange, they had Reggie Jackson, meanwhile, gets the ball, drives it to the basket for the layup. And it's 45-42. Booker back quickly, passes it to Bridges, his three blocked by George. And Terrence Mann coming back to the way for the Clippers. Gives it to Morris Sr. Cross court now to Jackson, goes quickly on the baseline. The reverse layup good, and the Clippers fighting right back. It's 45-44 for the Suns.
The Clippers are being outshot. They have one more made three, but Mark, they're hanging tough. You have to admire a team that's got to be fatigued, hanging so tough.
Terrence Mann trying to guard Booker here on the left side of the floor. Good contest, got the miss out of it, and Paul George corrals the loose ball. George across the midcourt line, guarded by Moore. Drives with the left hand, little bully ball underneath. Put his shoulder into him and draws the foul. Paul George with 12 points already in the ball game can give the Clippers a 1-point lead with a couple of free throws coming up.
Going to continue to hammer this point. The Clippers were dynamic off the bounce against the Utah Jazz. So Reggie Jackson had a little between the legs crossover on the last possession. Paul George beats him off the bounce on this possession. So the Clippers getting to their drive game.
A talented and skilled team, the Clippers. Paul George lets it go from the free throw line and knocks down the first of two from Palmdale, California, folks. It's not L.A., it's about 65 miles northeast on the highway out of Fresno State. Getting ready to shoot this second free throw. George connects on the second, and the Clippers lead it 46-45 with 3:20 to go in the first half. Moore across the midcourt line, guarded by Reggie Jackson. Booker off the pin down, goes to screen. Ayton now out top, gives it to Booker. Booker drives to his right, guarded by Terrence Mann. Pulls up from the elbow, 15-footer is good.
Now Mann does everything you want. Stays on his hip, makes him shoot over the top. D-Book, that's just better offense in the mid-range. I talked about it. It's his specialty.
9 points in the ball game for Booker. Clippers with the basketball on the right wing. Paul George. Booker switches out onto him. Gives it back now to Batum. George gets it back and nails a long three from the top of the three-point circle. He's got 14, 17 now.
Shot ready on the catch is Paul George. Before the defender can react, going to get a defensive foul on this end.
It's 49-47 for the Los Angeles Clippers with 2:36 to go in the first half of play. They've come out with the requisite energy despite playing just a couple of nights ago, wrapping up that series against the Utah Jazz. It'll be side out of bounds for the Phoenix Suns. Jake Crowder inbound. Gets it to Cam Payne. Payne guarded by Batum at the top of the circle. Booker trying to get open. Terrence Mann all over him. Batum switches on to Booker with the basketball. Picked up his dribble at the foul line. Missed the shot with the air ball. Retrieved it. Wrestling on the court. And we're going to have a loose ball foul against the Clippers. Against Marcus Morris Sr. on that loose ball scramble as Booker took a wild shot with the left hand and then went to get it back and drew the foul for Morris Sr., who is perplexed right now.
Interesting, Mark. Two good defensive teams, and late again, like the first quarter, nobody in the bonus yet.
Payne inbounds it to Bridges, gets it back, drives to his right. Lefty layup underneath is good.
He gets back to his strong hand, the left, on the right side of the basket. Just quick shoots the bigger Morris.
Boy, several months ago, he was in China contemplating his basketball future. Paul George with the ball, guarded by Cam Payne. In his stance, George cross court to Batum. Batum with the ball fake, drives it into the paint. An 8-footer on the way, rattles it home. Nick Batum with the bucket.
That is a tough shot, Mark. He had to double clutch because challenge by Crowder was excellent.
51-49, Clippers with the lead. 1:43 to go in the first half. Both teams shooting well north of 45% from the field. Here's Payne. Picks up his dribble on the right wing. Guarded by Morris Sr. Bridges now in the corner. Drives it baseline against Jackson. Picked it up inside to Ayton. Good find in traffic for the slam.
Mann was guarding Ayton. Came over in rotation to take away the drive. Ayton's presence right at the cup has been significant.
We saw what he did about Jokic, the MVP in the previous series. Whistle, that's going to be an offensive foul on the Paul George drive. Not against George. It'll go against Jackson on the screen. And that's going to be his second personal, third team foul. Under 2 minutes to go. And Payne will bring it up to the Phoenix Suns. Tied at 51, 1:10 to play in the first half. Payne off the Ayton screen. Out top to Booker. Booker goes quick. The floater up top. No, it was a pass to Ayton for the slam.
Ayton is now 7 for 8, 14 points. A vertical threat at the rim. He's putting pressure on the Clippers.
Booker the playmaker. Batum, one more pass to Terrence Mann. Side pocket three. Seminoles in the house. Terrence Mann with the bucket.
And yapping right at the Phoenix bench after the made three. Let him hear it.
Clippers back up by 1, 54-53, 42 seconds to go in the first half. Payne dribbles it to his left, comes back right now, working against Morris Sr., pulls it out, feels like he loves this mismatch, drives it around, Morris to the layup.
He's setting up Morris by back dribbling and getting the drive going, momentum. Now you're forcing Morris to guard from 12 with all that speed by Cam. No match.
7-second difference between the shot and game clock. George in the corner. Reggie Jackson with the quick three. No good. Rebounded by Ayton now with 15 seconds to go. They can walk it up and get a final shot here to end the half. It's Cam Payne, today's starting point guard, trying to play the role of CP3. Booker gets it from the right elbow, pulls up, got it! With 2 seconds to go, Morris Sr. lets it fly, and he misses badly, and that ends a strong second quarter shooting by both teams. The Phoenix
Alright guys, we're just on here for halftime. Go ahead and present you guys with the box score. We're at half. The lead score for the Suns, lead score for the Sun. As they lead by 3 time is DeAndre 8 and 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Next leading score is Devin Booker, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Then we have Jay Crowder, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Kevin Payne, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. And then Miles Bridges Mikal Bridges has 2 points, 2 assists. And off the bench, Cameron Johnson with 10 points, Torrey Craig with 5, and Sarge with 2. They are shooting, they're 25 for 43 field goals, which is 58%, and 35%, 5 14, 35% from 3-point line. And then for Clippers, which will here I'm back to the main score for Clippers is Paul George, 17 points, 2 rebounds. Then we have Reggie Jackson with 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Then we have Morris with 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Batum with 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. And Terrence Mann with 3 points, 1 rebound. And off the bench, we have DeMarcus Cousins with 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Looking hard for 6 points. And Patrick Beverly with 2, Rondo and Zubac have not scored. And then the Clippers are shooting 20 out of 44. Their field goal line, which is 45.6. They're 8 and 20, and they're 8 and 20 from the 3-point line, which is 40%. The Clippers are 6 for 7 from the field from free throw line, and Suns are 2 for 2 from free throw line. The Suns had 5 turnovers that round. Clippers had 3. Both teams' largest lead was 5 in that quarter. So if you guys are liking, I have to make sure you back to like that. I'll be back for a second half. The audio will be back for a second half audio straight. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and let's get this stream popping. Now, first half to leave.